What up everyone, my name is Fishstrike and welcome to Pocket Battle League episode 1. Why was I looking at the bike? Round 1. This is a new channel, a new YouTube channel made by me. My name is Moro, call me Fishstrike because even I don't know how to say my name. And Moro, it's Mauro basically. Okay, this is a new series, of course. It's the new channel, and I'm gonna do a series. So we are gonna too many ums. I just said it. Fuck me. Okay. I'm gonna play now on a new tournament here. Made by a friend of mine, Muzidex09. I think his channel was Muzidex09. Muzi from Music, Dex from Pokédex09. I really have to check it. Wait a moment. Cut. I'm actually not gonna cut. I'm just gonna maybe skip this part of the video. I hope I don't forget to do that in videos. Yeah, Muzidex09 with caps on the high caps on the M and on the D. He's a Spanish YouTuber. He's a Spanish Pokemon player, VGC player. What was that sound? Come on. I guess it was the phone. I'm gonna take it further. Okay. So yeah, he made a little tournament for on the VGC 17 format with a few friends from Twitter. So I'm gonna play, and I decided to do videos of that. Basically, the team building and the battles. This will be the first part of the video where I'll do the team building. I guess there will be lower, like here or somewhere on the screen, like written skip to X moment if you want to skip the team building. But I think you'll want to see the team building because it will be a weird team. So is this filming? I think it is recording the team builder. Well, let's see. My team, I'm gonna first have to explain the team. How to say it? A few years ago, like VGC 2015, on the beginning of the format, I decided to do a rain team, and at that time I thought that if you wanted to have a weather team, you have to make all the Pokemon based on the weather. So I used things like, for example, Politoed, of course, to set the rain. Then I used a lot of things like Mega Swampert, another water type Pokemon. And there was something that surprised me to the good, which was Thunderous, which was Thunderous with Prankster. I just decided to use Thunderous with Prankster because I thought, like, Drizzle, I had Politoed, but I needed something else to set the Drizzle, the rain. So there was nothing to set the rain other than the Politoed. So I decided to put a Prankster Pokemon because of the speed. I would be sure of putting the weather. And it surprised me a lot on a few battles where, for example, people sent in Charizard, which would of course Mega Evolve into Mega Charizard Y and set the drought. And it was a weird mechanic where on that turn they Mega Evolve. I would see they will Mega Evolve. I would overplay into Rain Dance, and so they would Mega Evolve. I would take out their weather, and they would, for example, use a Solar Beam with which wouldn't be sent on the first turn, and I would finish it off with a water move like Water Pulse or something. And it surprised me that so much that I always, almost every time I want to make a weather team, I almost every time first think on the prankster Pokemon. So I went with Murkrow because a friend of mine started talking a lot about their Murkrow, how they were trying to get a hidden ability Murkrow. So I decided to use the Murkrow on the weather team with the Eviolite, of course, the ability is Prankster, and then I have to decide the weather. So I started thinking on my last experiences with weather teams, and I think I've never used the hail or sandstorm team. I've only used mostly. I think I have actually have used one sandstorm team, but I mostly all use the Sun and Rain teams. So my experiences was that when I sent in my own weather, I would have a lot of problems with two things. First, when you do bad plays against other weathers, and second, when you play against another team with your own weather, because that moment you got a little tie on your weather, and so it sometimes makes it difficult when you get a weather team that can't stop its own weather. So I thought, okay, for example, I was actually thinking on using a Sun team, but I was thinking, okay, how can I stop another Sun teams? And then this weird idea came to my mind, and so I decided to risk a lot on this team. So as I said, I started with the Sunny Day team, and it was a weird idea. On the first moment, I thought, no, it's stupid, get out. But as long as I started thinking of it, with time, I ended up noticing something, which is that I could actually try to get it, although it sounded really, really bad. There was a possibility that I could get something from it. So how did I make my Sun team able to stop another Sun teams? Well, setting up the Rain 2. So yeah, this team will be a weird team, a VGC 17 team where I try to make the most viable way to use both Sun and Rain. It's stupid, but I want to try it. I tried it actually on a tournament like 2 weeks ago, and let's say that the part of using two weathers was actually the only one that worked in the team. Most of it didn't work. I had like Tapu Bulu plus Cortana as a lead. I had nothing to stop fire types on that lead, and Cortana was Tag. It's just ignore that team. It was, I don't know why I actually ended up thinking about it. But well, Sunny Day and Rain Dance on the Murkrow. Then I'm not sure of what to use else, so let's just make the basic Eevee spread. 252, let's make it bold nature, for example, to 128 defense, or at least to make it like closer as possible, as close as possible between both defenses. Then I came out with the main Sun user, and basically the only very good Sun user, which is weird because in the team it was originally thought to be a Sun team, but now I think that I only have one Pokemon that works basically on the Sun team, that needs the Sun to work. It doesn't need to work actually, but it's better on the Sun, which is the Arcanine, Intimidate, and we're gonna let it have the Fire EMZ. Uh, what happens with Murkrow Prankster with the weather? People now on the meta, when they use weather teams, they use basically weather abilities. They don't send in Pelipper with Rain Dance, they don't send anything like that. They send Pokemon with the weather ability. For example, Drizzle, Pelipper, Jolt, Torkoal. So they have their own weather, each one. So uh, they set it up with the ability, which means that they can only set the weather on the start of the turn or on the beginning of the match. What happens with that? Because what happens is that you with the macro will always have the, let's say, the weather priority. For example, they send in a Pelipper and Golduck. For example, Pelipper sets up the Drizzle, and then you are able to use the Sunny Day on the following turn, stopping completely the Rain Dance. You can stop the Rain Dance completely by just using the Prankster, because they don't have another way to set up the rain, and their only way to set up the rain again would be to switch Pelipper out and then switch it in again. And if you can like foresee that, overplay that, you could even use the weather after they switch. For example, you know that this moment are gonna switch into Pelipper and use something with the other Pokemon to just stop your weather. You could just use the Sunny Day, and so on that turn they switch Pelipper in, they bring the rain, and then you use the Sunny Day and stop that rain. Which is a really niche but a really good idea, to really good way to set up your weather. So Arcanite has Intimidate, has a Snarl with like every Arcanine, which makes you control both physical defense and special defense. And as you see, it's the Fire EMZ. Which moves does it use? Well, Burn Up for the Fire EMZ. What does that do? Well, first you have a 190 or 195 special damage fire type Z move, which under the Sun would be Beast. It does a lot of damage, and you can use a Burn Up. You can only get 2 fire type hits before you have to switch the Arcanine out, because you use Burn Up, you lose our typing, and you can't use Burn Up again. But you can use Burn Up and then the Fire type Z move. What does that mean? That means that if you see an opponent that that has both either Garchomp or Tapu Fini or Gastrodon, and you see that it's not a lead, you can just use the Burn Up on the first turn to predict their switch. And for example, let's say they have the Garchomp. You use Burn Up on the first turn when they switch Garchomp in, and then Garchomp will use the Earthquake or the Ground type Z move or etc. But it won't be super effective. You lose that fire type, you get the power then from the Z move under the Sun, and then you can just switch back into the rain, as Arcanine has nothing else to do unless one thing, Morning Sun. What does that mean? Well, this Arcanine will resist a lot. It won't receive any super effective hits as soon as it uses the Burn Up. It will lower the opponent's special attack, and if it's in the Sun, it will use Morning Sun to recover 75% of the HP. So it can end up as a really bulky Pokemon in the end. If you want to control their special attack, so here you have like a really good Pokemon to control the special attack. And yeah, you can intimidate to lure their attack, and then you use burn up. You have to switch out, then switch in again to use intimidate. You don't need to do that. Why? Because Murkrow has Feather Dance. That lowers the opponent's physical attack by 2, which means that when Arcanine is in the battle, if, let's say for example, they don't lead the guard jump as I said before, you use burn up on the first turn. When they switch guard jump in, on the following turn you can just use Feather Dance onto the guard jump, and even a ground type Z move won't do, I think it won't even do half HP to the Arcanine, which means you can just Morning Sun back all that HP. Then what would I decide to give the Arcanine? Well, there's a little thing, which is that Arcanine has the Snarl, Burn Up, and Morning Sun, and with these 3 moves, it only after using the Burn Up, it will only be able to use Snarl as an attacking move. That is a problem, and it will still be, because the next move will be the Helping Hand to maximize the damage of the partner. So this Arcanine will start as a special attacking, do as much damage as possible on the first turns, and then we'll just help the partner as soon as the Murkrow switches in, and Snarl control their special attack while being able to Helping Hand boost the partner if it's a good attacker. So that's basically what I wanted to give it, the 252 HP, 252 special attack. So yeah, I won't take that. Murkrow, I gave it as the last move Tailwind, just to get the speed, and then I decided to make the water attacker. At the beginning, the idea was to use a Swift Sing Golduck, as it gets a lot of speed, it has a nice special attack. But then I started seeing its stats, the kills it has, and even with the choice packs, it doesn't get all the kills it needs. So I decided to take it out. On the tournament that was held like 2 weeks ago or something, I decided to use this Pokemon because it was the only Pokemon I had in already trained, because I didn't have much time to get the team. It was a choice band or Aquanid with the water bubble. You don't know how liquidation kills with the choice band under the rain. It's a lot of damage. And if you set up the Tailwind even more. What's the problem? The problem is if you set the Araquanid on the team, you can't lead with Murkrow or Araquanid to the rain unless you know the opponent is pretty slow and has like a Trick Room team. What does that mean? That means that the only way you could use Araquanid to damage and be quick, because Murkrow needs the partner to be fast, at least a little bit, because the Araquanid would enter the battle, and for the moment the Araquanid could get a kill, it would already been focused by both of the opponents, and it would faint before it could kill anything and protect Murkrow, or Murkrow could get used by that. Could use that, but it can't. It's not that fast. It can't get the kills on the moment you need. So I decided to change it, and I decided to get Gyarados. I'm still not sure if using Life Orb or some Z move, but one thing I know is that I won't use it with Intimidate, because Murkrow already has the Feather Dance. You can lead with the Gyarados, but you don't need to intimidate both opponents. Most possibly the only physical attacker they will send in on the first turn would be like a Cortan or something. they wouldn't lead with two physical attacking Pokemons if you see a team that is Arcanine and Gyarados, and both have Intimidate by usually. So I gave it Moxie to be sure to get it, so that if I get a kill, I get a lot of power, and under the Rain Dance it gets a lot of kills on the first turn. And what did I give it? Well, first the Dragon Dance to raise attack and speed. Yeah, I trained it max speed Jolly Nature, or was it Jolly? Yeah, Jolly. So that it would outspeed Tapu Kokos, and you'd say like, why outspeed Tapu Kokos? They're gonna kill you either way. Well, not if you have Earthquake. I don't know the damage. I might actually do a damage calculator now. On the phone better, because don't want to make you get distracted on the screen. So I'm gonna see the damage calculation. Come on, this is the third time I'm putting the pin code on the phone. It's the damage calculator. So I'm not sure, but if you get a Dragon Dance, I'm almost sure you can get a one-hit KO on Tapu Kokos. But I'm gonna be sure now. It's loading. So yeah, it's gonna be speed from Dragon Dance, and if I get the Tailwind too, it can be a partner of Arcanine. So imagine just helping hand under the rain onto Gyarados. The problem from the Gyarados is that I still haven't thought on something to stop the Gastrodons, and although Arcanine can stop Gastrodons a lot with the Snarl after a burn up, I still better get something to stop that. But let's see. And here it is, KO in 1 to 2 turns. It's not sure, and it's not even a resisting Koko. So let's see if a Life Orb can do it. If it can, well, okay. Ensured one hit KO, 112.8% minimum on a hit with a Life Orb. Oh yeah, I wasn't taking into account the Dragon Dance. Just to be sure, how would it be with a Dragon Dance? Let's give it an Abomaside so I can take it. Okay, 129.5. It's a sure one hit KO. So I might actually just take a little risk and give it a Ground EMZ. To be sure I don't take any damage from the Life Orb, and as I kill it I get it the +1 attack. Although maybe if the opponent doesn't send a Tapu Koko in, I just waste the item in here. But let's hope he does send in a Tapu Koko. As basically this team has nothing to stop up or other Kokos instead apart from this. So yeah, you're seeing a team where the only Pokemon that can kill a Tapu Koko is a Pokemon that is 4 times weak against the electric type of Tapu Koko. So wonderful. And there is the question I was asking to myself before. I'm not sure if giving it Ice Fang to, for example, stop Garchomps and Gastrodons, or if maybe actually give it Protect, so that, for example, when I started with Murkrow Gyarados, I could protect Tailwind, so that then I just use Z Earthquake against the opponent Tapu Koko if it's a lead, to stop it and get the boost on the attack on that turn. I'm not sure because he could use a Z move. I don't I haven't seen many Tapu Kokos with Z moves, even less with electric type Z moves, which would be basically what would beat the Gyarados. I think because under the electric rain, I think it could kill the Gyarados. I won't check it out now. But yeah, I decided to use the protect just to be sure. Get the tailwind on that turn. If I'm with the Arcanine, get a snarl if I need to stop, for example, other Tapu Kokos to make it do a little bit less damage. So that next turn I could just survive. Gyarados survive a Tapu Koko's electric type move. I don't see that, but well. And Arcanine can just helping hand to power the Gyarados to get the kills with, for example, maybe Earthquake could like after the helping hand, and maybe if I get a Moxie boost, maybe it could kill Gastrodon. I hope it does. So the this is the last Pokemon that is based on the weather, and I decided to get a Pokemon that could work in both rain and sun with its moves. So I started looking for Pokemon with both. What was it? With both Solar Beam and, for example, Thunder. So that not thunder, so that it could, for example, enter and bow. And for example, let's say the opponent sends in a weather team, let's say Pelipper Coco. I could just send in this Pokemon with Murkrow and set the sun and use Solar Beam to stop, for example, the Golduck. And then when Pelipper comes in again, use Thunder to stop the Pelipper. And other ways to stop other weathers. But then I thought that maybe water type move would be better, like Scald. There's only Cast Form to learn both Solar Beam, Thunder, and Scald. Of course I want to use Cast Forms for that. I decided to maybe take Thunder, so that, for example, I could stop the Pelipper Golduck by stopping Golduck, and then Pelipper just has no use if I change always into the sun, because it has the Hurricane, which would fail. It has the Skull, which doesn't do almost as much damage. It has the Tailwind, which doesn't help, which might help him, but doesn't make it very like a big threat to me, and maybe the Protect or something. But the Pelipper wouldn't give me that much damage. Now I see there's Masquerade with that. I didn't go for that. I looked for example, Surf, but then I remember that Surf hits my Pokemon too, so I would be hitting my Murkrow with rain boosted Surf from, for example, Drampa after getting a Berserk boost, which would be not that good. Oh, the my slow learns Surf too? Wow. Oh yeah, of course it's Algae. Algae. How do you say that? Tauros. Yeah, I'm still thinking on one could I use here. Let's say, for example, Hydro Pump. You see Masquerade again, Cast Form again. No, that, not that. So Thunder again. And I decided, well, I'm not gonna use a Porygon 2. It's not that fast on this team. I already have the Eviolite on the Murkrow. Clefable is not good. Wigglytuff is not that good. As a sweeper, I mean. Chansey, no. Tauros is not a special attacker. Snorlax could work. It's really bulky, but to protect the Murkrow, it won't be a good idea. and 65 special attack is not that good. It's not good. Gramble no, Porygon 2 no, Miltank no, Blissey no. Porygon Z could work, but I decided to get a Drampa because the opponent could also send in a Trick Room, and Drampa would cover both things. And for example, let's say the Pelipper Golduck League, you could just put the Sunny Day. The Golduck won't do any damage to Drampa, or that much damage to Drampa with the Z move. So Drampa doesn't get that word because of the normal type. The problem would be like an Ice Beam, but it doesn't do all that damage, and on a bulky Drampa it won't do anything. The Drampa, I gave it a Citrus Berry to be sure I get a little bit of healing, because at beginning it was a Figgy Berry or some berry like that, Yapapa or something, to get a 50% health boost, but it was very rare getting me to under 25% HP. So, oh god, this is such a long video. Still recording. So I would get a Berserk. I gave it the Citrus Berry Berserk ability so that they would do me like between 50% and 75%. I would get a Berserk Citrus Berry, and then on the following hit I would get another Berserk boost. It wasn't sure, because if I got under 25% I wouldn't get 50% HP, but I thought it could work, and I gave it the Roost just to be sure I got even more more healing, more Berserk boosts if I needed. For example, let's say a Tapu Koko, it would kill Drampa, but let's say a Pokemon that would do me like 45% each time. The second time it hit, I would get a Citrus Berry, Roost, hits me, Roost, until I'm able to use a damaging attack with like 60, with like per 6 attack or something. So it's got the Solar Beam, as I said before, to finish the Golduck. I noticed it learns the Surf, so I gave it Surf. Is there no water type move really? Rain Dance? And the water hidden power, but Surf. Why Surf? Well, let's say for example we see a Southern team with Lilligant and Torkoal. They set the Sun, Lilligant is faster. The only problem with that, if I send in Murkrow Drampa, would be if Lilligant used the Sleep Powder onto Drampa and hit, because if Lilligant used me, after you into Eruption, it wouldn't get that much damage, because now it's Rain, it's resisted by Drampa, so it doesn't get that much damage on the Drampa. I can just Surf Torkoal down, because Torkoal is not that specially defensive bulky. I can then switch again into the... No, I wouldn't switch again into the Sun. I would wait, I would finish off the partner of the Lilligant. I wouldn't be that worried about the Lilligant unless it would hit all that Sleep Powders. I wouldn't be that worried with the Lilligant. I could finish off the partner of the Lilligant, and then when I needed, send in the Arcanine and burn up on the Sun against the Lilligant. If the Murkrow survives, that is. I don't think it would survive a Surf on a +1. I don't think it would. I hope it would survive a not +1 Surf, but on the Rain, but I don't think so. And then Hyper Voice just as a stab move. Hyper Voice. to do as much damage as possible. You see there are two moves that cover both opponents for the. So if the, for example, let's say they send in Clefairy plus Eevee, I don't think I would kill them both even with a Surf or a Hyper Voice, but I I would have chances. I would be able to hit the Eevee even with the follow me, so that would be a good thing. Uh, I would hit, for example, if it button passed into the name was Crocodile. If it button passed it into a Crocodile, I would get a super effective Surf. It would be damage onto the Eevee, onto the Crocodile, and I would possibly get rid of its damn it, of its shenanigans, of that team's problems. HP special attack, special defense. I think it could be, but what was I thinking? Oh yeah, if Grandpa survived the ice beam of Golduck, I think even with this spread it could survive. I'm gonna have to check again. Showdown, jump, no, the one that uses move is the Golduck, okay, max special attack, modest, yeah, it's modest, 16, it doesn't change anything, Water MZ, I don't think this app has the choice to see the damage from a Z move, but let's try with Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump is 110 damage. 110 damage means 180. Yeah, it's not times 2, even it's not even close to times 2. I have to check that again. Wait, let's see. Either way, damage it does onto a Drampa on the sunny day again. As I said, 6 to 7 rounds with the Hydro Pump. The Z move is not double damage, so it's not even a 3-hit KO. So you see, and this is not a bulky Drampa, it's not any investment. So 252 HP Drampa is even better against that. So this is, on my opinion, one of the best counters to Pelipper Golduck. People, when they see this team, they won't see the weather in any way. So on a best of 1 it would be good. On a best of 3 it's difficult, but I noticed that at least Murkrow plus Arcanine works really well, because you have the Feather Dance that covers any physical attacker, the Snarl that covers the special attackers. The only problem is if they lead with Tapu Koko. In that case, you Tailwind with the Murkrow, lead with the Gyarados. You Tailwind with the Murkrow, you sack the Murkrow while you protect the Gyarados. Tapu Koko will use like Thunderbolt or Discharge. If he uses Thunderbolt on the Gyarados, it's perfect. If he uses Taunt on the Murkrow, it's not that bad, because you can just switch out. If it uses Thunderbolt on the Murkrow, it finishes off the Murkrow, but you can send in the Arcanine, which is not bad, even if you don't have the Sun. It's a really good Pokemon, everyone knows that. If they use Discharge, they hit your Murkrow, they finish off the Murkrow, they don't hit the Gyarados, they hit their partner, unless it's a ground type like a Garchomp or a Seaking or Marowak or Lightning Rock Pokemon, basically. So it doesn't worry you that much. You can just ground MZ on the next turn while Arcanine does whatever it wants. Or Drampa, if you see they have a Garchomp paired with a Tapu Koko, so you can send this thing and don't do any damage to his Pokemon, but you can get the finish onto the Tapu Koko before it can do anything. Then you can just finish off the partner of the Tapu Koko, like Garchomp, as I said before, so that then you can send in the Arcanine. The problem would be, like they finish off the Murkrow, next time they protect with the Tapu Koko while use the Z Earthquake, Tapu Koko survives and they finish off Tramp, and then you send in the Arcanine. You would have to use the Earthquake on the Arcanine, but that's too long of a story, so let's ignore those kind of cases. Then I wanted to use something that, as you see here, this is like a team of 4 where if you use 2 of them you most possibly will use all of them, but I saw that Drampet doesn't do a lot of things, so Drampet can actually get out. Gyarados might get out sometimes, and this case is a Pokemon that cannot be a lead. Well, you could use it as a lead, but it's not that good on that situations, which is the Flyinium Z Tapu Koko with the Z Mirror move. What does it do? Well, for those who don't know, Z Mirror move gets a +2 power, and then gets copies the opponent's attack into it as a Z move. For example, let's say Koko is in the back and the opponent's Garchomp used Earthquake. Koko enters, you use Z Mirror move onto that Garchomp. What will happen? Well, you get a +2 and then you use a Z Earthquake, Z move Tectonic Rage from an Earthquake at a +2 attack onto that Garchomp, which I think can kill the Garchomp if I remember the calcs. It does a lot of damage, it gets the Tapu Koko to a +2, which is better than a Choice Band. Its physical attack is higher than the special attack. Problem is all the intimidates, but when you get the +2, well, unless they get 2 intimidates on the Tapu Koko, which enters on the late game, which is weird, it would be the only way to get the Tapu Koko to a neutral state. They could also burn the Tapu Koko, which would bring it back to neutral if it's not intimidated, etc. Then what else? Well, Wild Charge does a lot of damage on the Electric Rain, even without the +2. On the +2 it's even more. Then I gave it the Steel Wing to finish off other Tapus. It's faster than any Tapu, unless other Tapu Kokos. You can just Steel Wing the other Tapu Koko. So did Electric type survive resist Steel type? I think it did. And then you could go for the Sky Drop, which, now that there are not that many Celesteelas, it's a safer move. That means you get a +2, then you can just use Sky Drop if you see the opponent sends in something that scares the Tapu Koko, while the partner, for example Gyarados or Arcanine or whatever, finishes off that that threat. Or for example the Arcanine uses a Snarl to stop, let's say, a Gastrodon and whatever. So it's physical, yeah, Jolly, yeah, that's basically the EV sets, the spread. So last Pokemon, I was never sure of what to use. I'm still not sure of what to use, but I have to make the team today, and it's 7:30, 8:30 in Spain, and everyone is from Spain, and my opponent said he would battle during the night, so he might challenge me for the battle really soon. So the Pokemon that I decided was a Alolan Raichu. with Surge Surfer. As the Gyarados has the Z item, I can give it a Life Orb. Surge Surfer can fake out the use, yeah. Fake out, let's say. What could I give it? Yeah, I'm still not sure. Thunderbolt. Maybe I give it Thunder as Murkrow sets the rain, can set a rain. But I'm not really sure if I could send in Murkrow plus Raichu, because Raichu doesn't do that much damage. But let's say, yeah, let's say yes. Then we'll get another stab like Psychic. I couldn't think this one that much. Maybe Psyshock. Because people are now starting to use every Pokemon with more special defense than defense, so that they don't give Porygon 2 special attacking boost. So it's 10 power, but could Thunder? No, it can. I think it can't finish off a Cortana. Either way, Psychic won't do it either. So Psyshock, yeah, it would stop threats like Nihilego. I think it's more specially defensive than physically defensive. Chances and Blissey, but I don't know. I don't remember if Chansey or Blissey can be used. So yes, Psyshock, and then let's say Hidden Power Grass for if we see a Gastrodon. I think. Oh yeah, it was Hidden Power Ice, because I started doing damage calculations. I saw that max special attack with a timid nature, modest nature, doesn't finish off Garchomps with Hidden Power Ice, even with a Life Orb, if I remember correctly. But either way, 252 speed, because we have the Tapu Koko, which if it doesn't receive the Earthquake before it can move, I mean, if it can use the mirror move, I think it can always one-hit KO the Garchomp. Even more if the Garchomp uses like a Dragon type move on the first turn to like finish off a Drampa. So I could, for example, if I saw Pelipper Gold, I could see sending Murkrow, Drampa, Tapu Koko to enter, and Tapu Koko, and like for example, if they use the Garchomp, they finished off the Drampa with Dragon type move. I can just Z mirror move to finish off that Garchomp. So the Tapu Koko can do damage to the Garchomp. Garchomp against almost every time if we see the Garchomp on an opposing team, and it's not a lead, Murkrow Arcanine just destroys the Garchomp, because it gets like -3 attack if it's a lead, -2 attack if it's not a lead, and it won't get the super effective hit against the Arcanine. It can only like Rock Slide, and Rock Slide at a -2 doesn't finish off the Murkrow. So it's a good lead, but either way I still have to make sure these don't get the threats. Raichu with the Hidden Power Grass, I think it's it's not the only way to stop the Gastrodons. I can just Solar Beam it out. But yeah, basically this is the idea of the Raichu. It's not plus speed, it's +2, it's plus special attack. I don't know if Fake Out would be good with the attack. Maybe it would be better to get some clutch survivals, I'm not sure. But yeah, let's say the Fake Out is better, because it could, the attack boost, the not getting negative nature on the attack is good. So yeah, this is the idea. This is a team, Murkrow with both weathers, the Arcanine that can burn, take out its special its type to survive some things, Fire Z to do as much damage as possible on the sun. If you see the opponent doesn't have a Garchomp or a Gastrodon, which is really weird, you can just Sunny Day Z burn up and then burn up again to do as much damage as possible. It can Morning Sun to survive even more. The Gyarados, which is the water type sweeper, the rain sweeper. Drampa, which hits in both weathers to finish off other base weathers. If we see like Gigalith team, you can just either set up the rain and waterfall it down, or set the sun and solar beam it down, or set the rain and surf it down. If you see Ninetales with the hail, you can Sunny Day and burn it up. You can burn it up down. There's a lot of coverage onto that. Tapu Koko can still wing against the Ninetales. I think Ninetales usually ran Scarf, isn't it? But I will. Ninetales can get, if it gets like you set the Sunny Day, you protect from the hail, the blizzard accuracy. You protect from that accuracy. You can just like avoid its blizzards with the Murkrow on the first turn if you're lucky. If not, you lose the Murkrow, but you got the Sunny Day on the Arcanine, and then send Drampa for Solar Beam if you need, or something. If it goes to use Aurora Veil, it will fail the Aurora Veil, and you can just burn it up down, burn it up down. That's such a weird expression, I just said. Yeah, this is a team, so now I'm gonna cut and see you after the battle on the replay. And welcome back. It went well. It's out of 3 battles, I lost both of the first ones. The third one wasn't even needed. So yeah, that's a great start for a YouTube channel. I'm gonna show you the battles, just so you know how it went. Let's say that Marowak gave me more problems than it should have, because, well, Gyarados can finish it off, Arcanine can do a lot of damage to it, can cause it problems after burn up, but I couldn't do it. He outplayed me a lot. What else? What did I want to say? Oh yeah, I noticed that if you kill Murkrow on the beginning of the battle, Ninetales can give me a lot of problems. And what else do I need to say before the battle? Oh yeah, I changed items. I noticed that I had Z-move on Arcanine, Gyarados, and Tapu Koko. I didn't need 3 Z-move items, so I changed Gyarados Ground Him Z into a Life Orb and gave Raichu the Choice Packs, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the Choice Packs. Yeah, Choice Packs. So, well, let's start play in 3, 2, 1. Here. I led with Raichu Murkrow. It was a weird start for me, a weird idea, because I remember that, well, there's Ninetales. I can just set up the rain and start using thunder with Raichu, so that then Tapu Koko could enter and power up even more the thunder. I completely forgot he had a Marowak. That was a bad choice to do this lead with a Marowak in the opponent's side. So yeah, it used Fake Out. Okay, it wasn't that. It was Spark Blade. Yeah, because of the thunder power. But I think it wasn't a good idea. But well, I went with the Fake Out, then Rain Dance. He switched it into Tapu Fini. Went for the Thunder onto the Porygon Z. I could have used the Thunder onto the Tapu Fini, onto the Ninetales to stop it from bringing in his own weather, but I thought that he could switch into the Crocodile or the Marowak, so I decided to Thunder Porygon Z without thinking that if he switched into Marowak I wouldn't be able to Thunder the Porygon Z, but well. So he went into the Z conversion, he survived it, he changed into the Ice type. Yeah, it's a Z conversion Porygon Z with Blizzard for the Ninetales weather, so that then it could like use the Aurora Veil to boost the resistance of the Porygon Z. So I switched into the Tapu Koko. I still didn't remember that there was a Marowak on the opponent's side. So he switched into the Marowak. He received the Thunder with the Lightning Rod, and the Porygon Z just used Recover. So I think I would actually say that I lost the battle in here. Well, I lost the battle almost in the second turn. So he used this, get the Snow Warning. I used the Side Shock on the Porygon Z. Good that I didn't give it the choice packs because this wouldn't have even worked. So I went for the Sky Drop onto the Porygon Z to hope the Ninetales to stop the Porygon Z from finishing both my Pokemon on that turn and be able to do some damage on the Ninetales. So I was stupid again and used Thunder onto the Ninetales, even though on the beginning of the battle he switched into a Marowak. I didn't play that well, so it went for Blizzard, critical hit on the Raichu, finished off both of my Pokemon on that hit. So I only had my Murkrow and my Arcanine. At least I got the Intimidate on the Marowak, but well, when the Marowak can do a Boomerang onto Arcanine, it doesn't work very well. Inferno Overdrive finishes off the Porygon Z. I should have used Burn Up directly because of the Boomerang. I would have been able to survive better. The Boomerang, I would be able to use the Z move later. That was a big mistake from my side. So he used the Boomerang. He left me with like 30 HP or some. Wait. 20 HP, 20% HP, so that wasn't a good moment. So he switched into the Ninetales. I set up the Sunny Day again. He didn't hit the Murkrow on that turn. I used Morning Sun. He went for the Flare Blitz. I completely forgot the Sunny Day powers up his own Flare Blitz. So I used the Feather Dance to slow Marowak's power so that it didn't finish off the Arcanine. I went for the Burn Up onto the Ninetales, finished off the Ninetales. Took off my type so the Boomerang didn't do as much damage. See, switches Tapu Fini in, so I decided to Morning Sun to survive. It wasn't a good idea, I think I remember, because yeah, Flare Blades under the sun, I'm no longer resisting it. I should have snarled to first stop power from the Tapu Fini and second hit a super effective move on the Marowak, and maybe if I was lucky, I don't know if I could, but maybe try to finish off the Marowak. So he finishes me off. This was the first battle. Let's go to the second one, and here it is. So this time you see me on the opponent's side. So you'll I don't remember how this one went, but well, he enters with the Porygon Z Tapu Fini. I'll go with Murkrow Arcanine, my favorite lead because it works really well. So I started with the Sunny Day, and he just Breakneck Blitz and finishes off the Arcanine. So it's Z conversion Porygon Z with Blizzard conversion, of course. Another, I guess it would be like Hyper Beam, and the fourth move that could be like up and recover. So yeah, that Z Hyper Beam wasn't that expected from my side. I don't know why. I was thinking on just Sunny Day use Z burn up on the Porygon Z before it could, after it could conversion, because I actually thought I was faster than Porygon Z, and the idea was to finish it off before it could use the conversion. It wasn't a good idea. I mean, it didn't change anything. So at this moment, I just almost lost. So I sent in the Tapu Koko. I completely forgot again he got a Marowak. Uh, so he switches into the Marowak. I use the Tailwind and the Wild Charge that was absorbed by Lightning Rod. It uses Hyper Beam on the Murkrow. Yeah, that was the Z move he had. So I sent in Gyarados. So now that I noticed, this actually was the first battle, because it was on the first battle that he used the Breakneck Blitz and he just, let's say, it swept with the Hyper Beam. So I used the Dragon Dance. Flare Blitz finishes off the Tapu Koko, so I went for the Earthquake to finish off both of them. I only finished off the Marowak. It got me the Moxie Boost, but he just Hyper Beam and finished off the Gyarados. Really easy sweep. I didn't do any well in these two matches. So yeah, 10 minutes. I just showed you how I got swept by both opponents without any problem. So yeah, 10 minutes both matches. I mean. So yeah, this is the end of the first video. Well, for the moment this video comes in, I think I will already have played the second round. I'm thinking actually on just showing this video after the second round, as I'm gonna try to use the same team on the second round and then change it for the third round. So let's hope I do better on the next round. So well, I don't have an outro. What outro could I say? Well, just see ya.